So the guys are shuffling up here. If you're just joining us, you're just in time to watch the finals of the StarCityGames.com Legacy Open Series here in Denver, Colorado. I'm Joey Pasco, joined in the booth by Adrian Sullivan.
Hello, hello.
We're talking at a certain volume now. I think we're going to bring it down once the match starts.
That's for sure.
Because the room is nearly empty. I was talking about how there were about 24 people in here before. I think there may be just over a dozen now. We've lost a couple folks, and I think Glenn there, you can see him in the background typing up. He's covering the match for the written coverage, and I think he's playing music so that the players can't hear what we're saying as well.
That's a good idea. I like that.
I mean, it needs. I don't know how loud to talk though, because it's tough to speak quietly. It feels very strange.
It really is hard, especially because the sheer lack of volume that's required to not have your voice go all the way over the side of the room. It's just, wow.
It feels to me like it requires more effort to be quiet than. I guess it's just more uncomfortable, but.
Yeah, 4 hours of power. I believe it was Buffalo where we saw Belcher make the finals, and that was the player that it was his first Magic tournament.
So Branson going to 6 cards here.
Okay, Branson. One of the things that happened in that match, that player, it was his first time playing the match, or sorry, the tournament, a tournament. So definitely his first time playing Belcher, and he might have thrown away a game even.
So Branson.
And we're got to be quiet now. We're being shushed by Glenn Jones. So
yeah,
we're going to bring down the
music
volume.
not loud enough. So we've got Lotus Petal, Ritual, Elvish Spirit Guide, Seething
There we
Zone.
go. Look at that. Joe knows what to
says,
do.
I'll fight your third ritual and make you.
Take that.
Yeah, make you have wasted all those spells, and that's it. Yeah, Branson says.
Is that a 4 for 2? I think.
Certainly was. Sputters it out with the force of will on a Seething Zone.
And he says go. Yuck.
Branson with just one land in his deck. He's not going to make most of his land drops.
Well, he's got other ways to make mana.
Absolutely. I'm just saying he's not going to make most of his land drops.
Oh, yeah.
So counterbalance from Joe.
Okay.
And Branson's just on literal draw go, not draw land drop go, but actual draw go. And Joe.
And Joe's happy to play this game.
Yeah, he's got the time to set things up. Joe now with 4 lands in play and a counterbalance. Branson, 0 permanents. That was what I was thinking for that. And Joe finds Sensei's Divining Top. Soul Bond to the counterbalance. They're best friends. And it looks like Lotus Petal on the stack. Joe's going to try to counter it, and he has an opportunity to do so with a Glacial Fortress. So, it looks like he finds the Glacial Fortress on top, counters the Lotus Petal. We're going to read it just to ensure that. Is this what you're looking for? Okay, sorry. And Lotus Petal successfully countered by the counterbalance top combo. And Joe plays Glacial Fortress. Passes back. Branson trying to sculpt a situation that he can not only get through the counterbalance top, but get through whatever Joe may have in his hand to interact. So land grant from Branson's going to find that Taiga if it resolves. To cast it, he needs to actually reveal his hand. I believe that is part of the cost of playing land grant for free, is the revelation of his hand. So that's why we're seeing that. And we see Burning Wish, Rite of Flame, another Burning Wish, Empty the Warrens, Elvish Spirit Guide, and LED. And I lost my notebook, so I can't write it down. Oh, there it is. Adrian took it. See if I
Sorry.
It's all good.
Raffle.
right, so looks like Joe's going to try to counter it here with the counterbalance top. Trying to set things up here with a brainstorm. Land grab finds counterspell on the top.
And Branson's like, okay, you can go. I actually would feel pretty comfortable scooping right now.
If you're Branson.
If I was Branson, yeah. You won't have much longer to wait. I think it's going to be a 2-turn clock very soon.
There's a Chrome Mox. It was not in his hand moments ago.
And Joe deciding whether he wants to stop it or not.
He says, you know what?
You know what? That's fine. I'll stop it.
Just spell pierce it.
That's fine. That's fine. And end of turn. Looks like he's going to do top into Angels.
Yeah, so
That's going to be 8 power. All
treat
at once.
the Angels for 2 4/4s at the end of Branson's turn. Joe untaps, redraws his top, attacks for 8. 3-turn clock for Branson Mitchell here in Game 1 of the finals of the StarCityGames.com Open Series in Denver. These are, of course, the Legacy Finals, as it is fairly late on a Sunday night.
If you can hear the closing of the tables, I have to tell you, I'm really grateful that the tables are being closed. It gives a little bit more room to speak.
Yeah, so Branson trying to figure out if there's a way to win this game. Joe's gonna use his top, set up his next draw. Untaps, draws. Attacks for 8. Branson to 4. Island from Joe. Passes to Branson. Branson draws. And there you have a Game 1 going to Joe Lossett with Blue-White Miracles over Branson Mitchell's Goblin Charbelcher. That is the first time we've seen Branson lose on camera today.
I think so.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen him play 5 games. 4 of them he won.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, while that is underway and you can see these players going to their sideboard, we're going to come back to us real quick and we're going to offer up once again the Star City Games premium giveaway.
Oh, yeah.
Here in the finals, what are we going to be giving away?
Premium.
1 year of premium.
That's right.
And the way this works, as always, make sure you tweet the correct answer to the trivia question that I'll be asking with the hashtag SCGPremium. 1 lucky person out there in the Twitterverse who correctly answers the trivia question and uses that hashtag. 1 lucky person amongst them will be selected to be given 1 year of Star City Games Premium. And now Joey had a question, but I decided to wrest it away from him.
He pulled it right out from under me.
Yes.
And apparently came up with a different question, not a better question.
A
different question.
A different question.
All right, so Adrian, go ahead and you ask your trivia question.
Well,
Did you lose it?
Your trivia question was pretty solid, right?
Yeah, there it is.
So the question is, what? And here it is. We see the No and Tell deck from before. It was just defeated in the previous round.
Right in the semis.
Yeah. So, what is the only M13 spell in that deck? Now,
Very interesting.
Snot Card Island is not a spell. So, what is the only M13 spell in the No and Tell deck?
I like it. And this is the whole 75 here.
That's the whole 75. We look through every single one of those 75. Only one of them is in M13.
Looks right to me.
What is it? Tweet that answer with the hashtag SCG Premium, and you could be the winner of 1 free year of Star City Games.
We're talking about specifically Michael Zvien's deck here.
I would even make a claim, well, I won't go there.
No reason to claim something you're not sure
We're going to
of.
leave it there. We're going to leave it there.
Yeah, so.
Go back to the match in progress, and now we have to be quiet suddenly. What did these players decide?
The guys that work here at the hotel need to be louder. So
I hope they get louder. There we go.
Get loud.
So if you're Joe Lossett, and you are dealing with this explosive possible draw. What do you sideboard? I like Meddling Mage.
Yeah.
I like Counterspell. I like Spell Snare. I like Disenchant. And I would even consider, if I had room, Surgical Extraction as a bad Cabal Therapy.
I like those choices.
Now, the Surgical Extraction would be the last card I would go to.
For Branson Mitchell, as we mentioned, I think in the Reanimator matchup, he's got 8 cards for this matchup, for fighting against decks that can interact with him. He's got 4 Pyroblast, and he's got 4 Xantid Swarms. So, interestingly enough, the Xantid Swarms will not stop Counterbalance from triggering. So, if Counterbalance top is assembled, or just Counterbalances on the board, Xantid Swarm is not a good enough answer. Now, Pyroblast is a fantastic answer to Counterbalance if, 1, Counterbalance is still on the stack, or 2, it's in play and no top is available to counter it. But those are the 8 cards available to Branson Mitchell.
If you look in the lower left corner, you can see that green deck list. These players are allowed to check their quote-unquote outside notes. And these outside notes, in the case of this top 8, include the deck lists of their opponents.
Yeah, so both players well aware of what's available to their opponent. Branson appears to be ready.
I like something that Gaka Moment Brian Walsh says on the Twitter. The best thing about playing Belcher is that scooping requires less effort. I'll pick up my nothing.
Yeah, there's no actual scooping besides maybe your graveyard. Right?
Right.
So, like, just pick up your graveyard, put it into the library, and there you go. Goblin Charbelcher equals Glass Cannon, says Pit Scorpion at Ungi Power on Twitter. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. But sometimes your opponent just doesn't have the cards to fight, and you can use that Glass Cannon and take it all the way to the finals.
Oh my goodness! I am being told we have to do a slight revision on the M13 question, real quick. The SCG Premium question.
See, that's what you get for changing my question.
I'm wrong. Whew.
Are we good? Yeah.
Someone messaged me and they were like, "No, there's this other one." And a quick check. Never you mind. The question still stands. Okay. I was worried there for a second. I thought I checked every single card. And, okay. Whew. A little sweat off my brow there for a moment.
Yeah, I would think we'd be getting bombarded with Twitter.
Right. Well, I mean,
Twitter comments about it.
I checked every single card, but every once in a while you miss. Joe Lossett on the right here with Miracles, and Branson Mitchell on the left with Belcher. Yeah, I don't think I would have the constitution to play Belcher at a tournament. It's just one of those things where I would be too nervous all day that my opponent would know what to do, have the card. I would just feel like I was way out of control with how things went. And, I see Glenn is apparently shushed us, but I don't see any reason for us to be shushed when we're not talking about the actual gameplay. So I'm going to continue speaking like this as long as we're not talking about the play.
Yeah, I think maybe he's just trying to let us know that we're audible to them at this point, and so we need to be quieter when we are talking about
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand. So. Glenn Jones, who?
He didn't even react, so he is very much concentrated on his laptop there.
Right.
So looks like Branson Mitchell has gone to 5 cards. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, one of the things, Belcher is fully capable of doing that. It's not easy.
Yeah, he's not looking for his land drop necessarily, because there's only one in the deck. He's looking for a hand that can win through disruption.
No, I was just looking through some cards, and
all right,
here we go, and we start.
We have a game. Misty Rainforest.
Now remember, Joe won last game.
So this is actually, Branson has already gone and passed.
Yeah.
Is what we're saying here. Finds a Tundra with his Misty Rainforest.
And we're going to bring down the volume now.
I think we're mentioning just what is being played. I don't think it's such a big deal either. So
Right.
Sensei's Divining Top from Joe Lossett off of a Tundra. Branson draws his card. And says go.
Back to Joe.
Flooded Strand from Joe.
I was talking with Joe earlier today, and he said that, like me, he used to hate counterbalance, but that he says this new Miracle counterbalance, actually, he really likes it. He feels different to him, and that's cool. I like to hear that. Maybe I should give it another check. Maybe I should just give it a chance.
Yeah, I certainly love it. And
why don't you marry it then?
Tundra, I don't think that's legal in the state of Colorado. So Joe Lossett has found a second Tundra.
Maybe in some other country.
Maybe, and there it is, Counterbalance.
Oh boy.
Soul Bond with Sensei's Divining Top.
I like that, Soul Bonded. That's nice.
And Branson draws, says go. Joe Lossett with a Marsh Flats. And
is it going to be the case? Is Joe finally going to crack through and to be a victor here? He's come close so many times. Top 16 once, 8th, I believe, once, and a finals appearance once.
Yeah, last June in Denver with Cephalid Breakfast, he fell in the finals to Tom Ma, playing Show and Tell Hive Mind. Joe Lossett plays Chris Pikula, meddling mage himself.
Ouch, what a lockdown. I kind of feel like Joe Lossett is just this MMA fighter, and Branson Mitchell is, just some poor schlub that got into the wrong fight.
Got into the wrong cage.
Here you go.
What is that meddling mage named? Do we know yet? Charbelcher. All right, Joe Lossett has cut off the namesake of the Goblin Charbelcher deck. And now fetching a third Tundra off of Marsh Flats. Knows he has no fear of Wasteland here. It's all Tundra all the time on these fetch lands. It's looking very good for Joe Lossett. I mean, given that Branson has made literally no plays this game, and Joe has done nothing but build up cards to defend against potential plays from Branson, and now he's on the attack with Meddling Mage. Everything Joe's done has been to put up a wall against what Branson's trying to do, and Branson, meanwhile, has just been unable to really do anything at this point, and meanwhile he's trying to sculpt him a way to even do anything, and at the same time, his opponent is just brick walling him. All right, a Brainstorm from Joe Lossett. Puts a couple of cards back. Cracks his Misty Rainforest. Gonna shuffle away some cards.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Branson just frozen in place.
Yeah, and there's Snapcaster Mage Joe. I think he's just he's gonna go ahead and flashback the Brainstorm here. Yeah, there he goes. And I think even more importantly or more significantly, he has doubled his clock. It's like he entreated the angels for one.
Right.
But got a a way to protect against Charbelcher, and got some cards out of it, got some Brainstorms out of it. Yeah, there's a Glacial Fortress, and in for 4, says Joe Lossett.
The clock doubled.
Yep. 4 mana.
Four mana.
The Mind Sculptor.
Who is better?
Jace the Mind Sculptor, better than all.
And he goes apparently for the Brainstorm. I was actually going to see if he was going to put a race between Jace and the creatures on who could win.
I mean, I think at this point we're good with the creature clock that's happening.
Yeah,
I think Jace is fantastic to provide Joe with the right cards to interact with anything Branson tries to do. But yeah, I understand.
I just like that flourish sometimes.
For sure, yeah. I mean, sometimes if you're really unsure that your creatures aren't, you're not sure if your creatures are going to get there, I could see going with the alternate win condition kind of plan just in case. But I think Joe can be fairly certain that his creatures are going to get there. So in the meantime, they're getting there, knocking Branson to 10.
3 turns separate separate Joe from another victor, or his first victory at Star City Games Open Series here.
And Joe brainstorming yet again with Jace.
Goodbye, Terminus.
They could have heard you.
Oh, good point. And another spell on top. Branson draws. He's got a lot of cards in his hand. When is he going to try for it? Top EOT. Those look good. Is there a discard now?
Yeah,
a discard.
I was going to say Branson probably needs a discard at that point. And in for another 4, Branson to 6.
Joe wasting no time. Attack.
No need to. There is literally no permanent on the other side of the board, and Joe has set himself up to defend against anything that Branson's
and he does another
ready to do.
One of the things I like is that Joe is playing quickly here and not dragging out this. He's really giving us a fast one here, so that's good. Thank you, Joe. Spends 2 mana. Pikula's twin brother.
Yeah, Meddling Mage number 2. We'll find out what that's naming in just a moment. It resolved and named Burning Wish.
And we see the beginning now of Branson going to try to do something.
So there's a Gitaxian Probe from Branson, and Joe has the opportunity to attempt to rearrange the top cards of his library with top to potentially counter it with counterbalance.
And he's like, just look at what I got.
Do you want to see what I have to fight you? All the counter spells.
We've got Portent,
we've got Spell Pierce, we've got Spell Snare, we've got Force of Will, we've got a card that I can't see.
I bet you could make that into
it's a Sensei Story.
Into a song. It's the way you said that. And a concession. That's it. Branson Mitchell. He has been defeated, and Joe Lossett is our victor.
Yeah, Joe Lossett wins it here in Denver. And
good for Joe.
Yeah.